take a letter, Maria, ooh, address it to my wife, and more pleasure in the arms of another man.
Happy day. Oh, happy day.
1969 wasn't just the end of a decade, it was the end of an era. Dr. King was gone, Malcolm was gone, the country was divided and wounded, but the music healed. Soul artists didn't whisper, they testified. Stay to the end. The #1 song doesn't just close a decade, it leaves a promise for what comes next. Welcome to RnB Vinyl, where we revisit the grooves that healed, challenged, and changed the world. Today we count down 15 unforgettable soul tracks from 1969, songs that comforted the broken and pushed the culture forward. If you love deep dives with clean storytelling, subscribe, like, and drop your favorite 1969 soul track and the memory it brings back in the comments. Number 15, You've Made Me So Very Happy, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Born as a Motown ballad, this 1969 version explodes with brass lines, rock backbeat, and jazz glide without losing its grateful core. The arrangement swells and releases like a live show. Horn fanfares push the hook forward, keys and drums lock into a confident strut, and the vocal rides the groove like a victory lap. It's a lesson in scale. Take a simple thank you and blow it up to stadium size, yet keep the heart close to the mic. Listen for the pre-chorus brass lift that feels like sunlight flooding an arena, and how the band drops the dynamic so the chorus lands harder the second time. In a fractured year, its crossover warmth made sense, joy that traveled. Reached #2 on the Hot 100. Number 14, What Does It Take to Win Your Love? Junior Walker and the All-Stars. A plea you can slow dance to. This record is unhurried but never unfocused. Junior's raspy vocal sketches the ache, and then the saxophone says the parts that hurt too much to speak. The melody bends, sighs, and answers itself like a late-night conversation. The rhythm section walks instead of runs, giving the solo room to bloom and the silence room to speak. Listen for the long, breathy sax phrases that hang in the air, each one a second chance that doesn't quite arrive. Romantic, a little heartbroken, and unforgettable, it floated to #1 R&B and crossed into the pop top 5. Rare air for a ballad this smooth. Number 13, Baby I'm For Real, the originals.
You don't understand.
Co-written and produced by Marvin Gaye, this track strips away flash and leaves feeling. Strings hover like careful breath, the drum pattern is soft but certain, and the harmonies fold over the lead vocal as if to steady it. It's the sound of truth told quietly. No grand gestures, no big modulation, just the courage to mean every word. Listen for the stacked voices on I'm For Real, how they tighten in pitch and widen in emotion at the same time. It makes the promise feel signed in ink. The sincerity connected, #1 R&B, and a breakthrough for a group that had waited their turn. Number 12, The Ghetto, Donny Hathaway. A debut statement that paints a neighborhood in rhythm instead of paragraphs. Congas circle, bass and keys loop like streetlights blinking on, and chants rise and fade like doorways opening and closing. Donny isn't moralizing, he's witnessing, letting small musical details create a place. Kids at play, sirens in the distance, a block that works hard to keep moving. Listen for the percussion bed staying patient while the keys search for pockets of light, and how the groove never rushes even when the textures thicken. It wasn't a big charter, but it meant everything, introducing an artist devoted to truth.
Earl the Ruin. You got it, Earl.
Number 11, Can I Change My Mind? Tyrone Davis. It starts with a breath, a clean drum fill, and a confession. The horns sway like streetlights in rain. The guitar and bass take measured steps, and Tyrone's voice carries regret with elegance. He pleads without collapsing. The song understands the moment after pride breaks, when you want time to reverse by a single hour. Listen for the pocket between snare and bass on the verses, regret you can still move to. And the way the horns answer his lines like friends who won't say, I told you so. A breakthrough that reached #1 R&B and set the tone for his run.
I would like to start all over again.
Number 10, Choice of Colors, The Impressions. Curtis Mayfield asks instead of shouts, and the question hits harder for it. Gentle guitar, feather-light harmonies, and steady drums make room for lyrics that hold up a mirror to the moment. You hear a hymn before you realize you're taking inventory of your own heart. Listen for the calm guitar filigree beneath the lead. The softness lets the questions land without defense. And the way the harmonies tighten on the title phrase, like a community agreeing to tell the truth. A quiet reckoning that topped the R&B chart during a turbulent summer.
And share with black folks, not a king.
Number 9, Oh Happy Day, Edwin Hawkins Singers.
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh.
A local fundraiser recording that felt like sunrise and refused to stay small. Dorothy Morrison's lead vocal lifts the room. The choir answers in waves. The piano locks the revival to the radio dial. The groove is simple, the spirit is enormous, and the joy is contagious across any boundary you can name. Listen for the call-and-response swell near the final chorus, goosebumps on cue, and how the drummer nudges the tempo forward as the choir climbs. A Grammy-winning crossover that reached #4 Hot 100 and brought gospel into living rooms around the world. Number 8, It's Your Thing, the Isley Brothers. Independence with a grin and a backbeat. The bass line struts, the horns jab, and the hook makes freedom sound like a dance move. Do what you want to do. It isn't rebellion for theater, it's permission set to funk. Lean, punchy, and built for repeat plays. Listen for the bass locking to the snare on the turnarounds. Swagger turned into muscle memory. And the vocal ad-libs that feel like a door kicking open. A defining blueprint of early funk, Grammy-winning and #1 R&B. Number 7, Hot Fun in the Summertime, Sly and the Family Stone. August as a song, golden horns, soft harmonies, and a tempo that lets memory catch up. Coming off Woodstock's Electricity, Sly slows the party into a daydream, where happiness and wistfulness hold hands. The arrangement is lighter than their usual chaos, which makes every horn line glow and every vocal blend feel like a breeze. Listen for the gentle melodic lift in the refrain, the smile that almost breaks, and the way the drums sit back so the harmonies can do the emotional heavy lifting. Peaked at #2 pop, emotionally it never fell. Number 6, Too Busy Thinking About My Baby, Marvin Gaye. Joy on the surface, storm clouds underneath. The rhythm section bounces without hurrying. The strings are sweet but never sticky. Marvin glides through the pocket like he's floating above it. In a hard season, he smiles through the sadness and sells the feeling with effortless phrasing. Listen for the glide on I Ain't Got Time for Nothing Else, the syllables stretching like sunlight across the bar line. 5 weeks at #1 R&B and Motown's biggest selling single of the year, Sunshine Built on Clouds. Number 5, Take a Letter, Maria, R.B. Greaves. A movie in 3 minutes, horns blare, keys tap, and a man dictates a clean break with calm dignity. The vocal is measured. No meltdown, no rage, just a decision to move on. The Latin-tinged groove gives the song its signature sway and a worldly ease that kept it spinning on every kind of radio. Listen for the horn stabs punctuating each turning point and the way the chorus steps forward like a new plan forming in real time. Climbed to #2 on the Hot 100 and never left adult soul playlists.
Was I wrong to work nights to try to...
Number 4, Everyday People, Sly and the Family Stone. Division outside, inclusion on wax. A simple chant carries deep meaning, and the band's democratic vocal trade-offs make the message feel lived, not lectured. The groove is irresistible. Kids can sing it, grown folks can march to it, and the hook turns unity into muscle memory. Listen for the conversational handoffs between voices and the pocket that never loosens even as the parts pile up. A #1 anthem and one of soul's most enduring calls to live together.
We got to live together, all right.
There is the yellow.
Number 3, Only the Strong Survive, Jerry Butler.
Gonna let your love is gone. Oh,
A big brother's arm around your shoulders set to rich horns and a steady rhythm section. Butler doesn't perform heartbreak. He instructs you through it, calm, measured, and convincing. The baritone authority makes the chorus feel like a mantra you can carry out of the room. Listen for the title phrase, landing square on the downbeat, like a stamp of resolve, and the horn answers that reinforce every lesson line. It soared on the R&B charts and stands as one of his defining cuts.
only the strong survive.
Number 2, Someday We'll Be Together, Diana Ross and the Supremes.
We'll be together.
A curtain call that feels like a promise. Technically cut like a solo with session backgrounds, but framed as the group's goodbye, the record holds farewell and faith in the same palm. The arrangement leaves space for Diana's soft, commanding delivery, hopeful, aching, sure. Listen for the hush on the word someday, a whisper that somehow fills the room, and the strings that lift without crowding. 1. On both R&B and pop, the decade closing on a vow you believe.
A long time ago, not sweet thing.
Number 1, I Can't Get Next to You, The Temptations.
But my life is incomplete and I'm so blue. 'Cause
Psychedelic soul at full power. Thunderclap drums, fuzz guitar, gospel keys, and 5 leads ricocheting verses like sparks. Swagger rides on top, sorrow sits underneath, as each member flexes powers that still can't bridge the distance to the one they want. The arrangement never lets go. Breaks, shouts, handoffs, returns, until the last hit lands. Listen for the rapid lead exchanges, the crowd start intro energy, and the way the keys preach beneath the grit. Zafir 1, across the major charts, and the exclamation point at the end of a decade.
can't get next to you.
1969 gave us Mirrors, songs that reflected struggle, love, hope, and the stubborn will to keep moving. Which of these soul classics still plays in your head? Drop your top 3 and the memory it brings back. If this trip lifted you, cue up our 1971 Soul Countdown next. The fire didn't fade, it grew. Thanks for spinning with RnB Vinyl. Hit subscribe, share with a friend, and keep the needle on the groove.